Go from America's finest city, San Diego, California, the championship final of the Miller Lite San Diego Open. Karch Kiraly and Kent Steffes going up against brand new Brian Lewis and Randy Stoklos. Our referees today, two of the best on the beach. Jimmy Leonard is up, and his partner, John Featherstone, is down. Little Johnny Featherstone. 1-15. If Lewis and Stoklos win that one, then they must win a double final 1-7 because Karch and Kent are undefeated in round-robin double elimination play. Randy Stoklos doing a little beach tiding, clearing some rocks. It's nice sand here, jumping sand, but there are a lot of shells in the sand. Stoklos in the blue headband, wearing the red shorts, and his partner Brian Lewis. Brian Lewis in the white hat and white trunks. So Lewis and Stoklos against Kiraly and Steffes. Kiraly and Steffes trying to win another tournament together. They have won 5 together this year. Steffes has won 6, including the FIVB International World Championship in Brazil. That one he won with Adam Johnson. So here we go. Brian Lewis set to take off. Where's St. John Smith? He has gone home. He played with Tim Hovland today, and Hovland and Smith got 9th. Steffes off the top of the block and down. Interesting right now, Paul, to see who Kent Steffes and Karch Kiraly will serve first. Will they go to Stoklos, or will they go to the smaller Brian Lewis?
Well, I think they'll go to Stoklos. Obviously, time will tell, but if their pattern holds true from the years gone by, I think Kent Steffes, who you see right there, 6'4", 210, 24 years of age now. I think they're going to serve Randy Stoklos a lot.
They go right to Stoklos, but Lewis is going to give him a sweet set every time, like that one. Hey, and Stokey hits it out of bounds. 1-0. Kiraly and Steffes.
You know, we've talked about the added incentive for Lewis and Stoklos, the energy, the excitement of playing together for the first time. But I'm telling you, I'll bet Kiraly and Steffes are jacked to play this match as well. They know there's a lot more on the line. Maybe some stage setting for the rest of the year.
Chance for a point here. Steffes got it. So the first 2 serves go to Randy Stoklos. He got 2 perfect sets, hit one out, and hit one right to Kent Steffes. 2-0, very, very quickly. So Kent Steffes, who will continue to serve. He was born in Ann Arbor, Michigan, grew up in the Pacific Palisades of California. He has won 41 tournaments. He's 7th best on the all-time list. Lewis thumps it down. Bad serving.
Yeah, service mistake right off the bat. 2 serves to Stoklos, 2 points on the board, and then Steffes just loses his execution and gets one down the middle that Brian Lewis comes over and takes away.
Steffes, and he chops it out of bounds. So Kent Steffes.
Okay, Steffes is having a lot of trouble, I think, with his cut shot that he's been working on the last couple of years. You watch him hit the ball. He's really what we call dropping his shoulder. He's not hitting that ball from a high point when he's chopping it cross court.
Sets way back and dribbling it down line. That time was Kent Steffes. So Karch Kiraly will serve. Karch wearing the pink hat, the white top, 13 consecutive wins back in '92. That tied the record of Jim Menges and Greg Lee. And interestingly, Linda Carrillo, the AVP Women's Tour, also joins in that distinction. Side out. So Brian Lewis set to take off. Brian now living in Costa Mesa, California. Played with Owen McKibben, Ricky Ludes, Pat Powers, Tim Hovland, Craig Moodhart, Mike Whitmarsh, and anybody else who happens to be on the tour. But now he's in the big time. He's got Stoklos as Steffes pounds it down.
Well, I remember watching Brian Lewis at Hermosa maybe 3 years ago, just bombing jump serves and scaring everybody, but he wasn't playing with really high-level partners, and then he got a breakthrough, and since then has really taken advantage. It's one thing to want the opportunity. It's another thing to produce once you get it.
Jump serve goes out of bounds. And so Randy Stoklos will put the ball in play. And right to Steffes. Pretty good set. Stoklos with the block. And Karch tipping it through. Karch going on to, how many blocks does Stoklos need in this game to get it going?
Well, I think he needs 3. I think if Randy Stoklos gets 3 clear stuffs the beginning of this game, and I think particularly against Steffes, he will make Kent Steffes a little unsteady and unsure of himself, which has caused problems during the beginning of the year. But if he gets it against Karch, Karch will hit the ball harder.
2-1 is our score. Brian Steffes leading. So Lewis to serve, his team trailing 2-1. And he whips up the ace. Right down the line, the screwball. Great serve by Brian Lewis.
You better not give Brian Lewis much room down the line because, as you said, he's got 8 surfboards and about 7 different jump serves. And that's the Scroogey, the hard one, down the line.
On Karch, that ball whipping out of bounds. You know, Kent Steffes, I talked to him during the week, Paul, and I asked him what he thought of Brian Lewis and Randy Stoklos as a team. Quote, I think they'll stink. I don't think Brian Lewis is that good. There's a little tete-a-tete there. There's good intensity between Steffes and Brian Lewis.
Steffes said he didn't think that Brian Lewis was that good.
That's exactly what I said, didn't I?
No, but is that exactly what he said?
Exactly what he says. As Karch hit the ball out of bounds. Good attempt by Karch up high. 2-2 is our score, so Stoklos will serve.
Well, Steffes has got big feet, you know, so when he puts them in his mouth, it hurts. We will see.
And that serve just out of bounds. I got another good quote for you. You want me to give it to you right here?
No, save it.
Kent Steffes talking about Hovland and St. John as a team. What do you think of Tim Hovland and St. John Smith? He said, that should be a horrible team. In fact, that team is dog beat. Terrible setting, terrible setting. Do you agree?
No. No, I don't.
Steffes very confident, of course.
Never tortured by doubt.
No.
But how could he possibly say that two of the
well, they did get a ninth. Hovland and Steffes.
It's the first week.
Okay.
It's the first week. You know, here are 2 guys with
Stoklos with the block.
Their stuff block number 1. We'll continue this debate.
That's exactly
to be continued.
Right. So Stoklos and Lewis have the lead, 3-2. Stoklos is the best. That's what Karch thought.
Big and strong, excellent timing, and good instincts, just bombing the ball hard and able actually to slice off angles from well off the net. And whoever operated on his shoulder, and we should get that little tidbit for you, obviously did a good job.
Lewis shovels it back over to Karch. It's 4-4. And Karch easily inside. Karch likes to hit cross court. That's his specialty. Likes to hit the pinky one right down the pipe.
Well, if you're able to hit the sharp angle, as Karch just displayed right there, you bring the defender so far down the court that you just open up everything else. The loopy line is open, the deep cross court is open, just virtually everything other than that one shot straight cross court is wide open for you if you can hit that sharp an angle consistently.
Steffes. 4-4 tie. Boy, Stoklos set it well. No! Right down the line, the ball hit into the antenna, and Brian Steffes once again regained the lead. They led 2-0. Now they're leading 5-4.
This has been a game of heavyweight so far, and this ball maybe set a little bit wide, and Brian Lewis trying to roll it line, and there you see the antenna extending right in front of referee Jim Leonard, and the ball contacts the antenna or passes outside it. It's a violation.
22nd timeout. Prize money for the Miller Lite San Diego Open. Another $75,000. First place, they split 15, 9, 71-25, 56-25, and 4,500. They pay out money on the AVP all the way through 17th place, I believe. And of course, then there's the Miller Lite Grand Prix, the bonus pool at the end of the year, where they award prize money through 48 places. So it pays to play every week. And in every tournament, as Steffes still sporting the Band-Aid from the minor 10-stitch surgery from paintball a couple of months back. He has to keep that Band-Aid on for a while. And double contact call by Jim Leonard on Brian Lewis.
I don't like that call. There have been others that have gone before this, excuse me, Chris, that have not been called, and that's all the players want is consistency. Ball comes out with just a little spin. And there have been sets that have looked much worse than that earlier on, but Jimmy Leonard says no, take two.
Double contact, 6-4 is the score. We'll be back for more. Stay with us. The beautiful aspects of the AVP Tour. Dancing, Marvin Hall doing his thing to rev up the crowd. Does this rev him up, or what does it do to him?
No, the crowd enjoys it. Marv does a nice job as an official, and he does a marvelous job as a dancer.
6-4 is our score. Cry and Steffes have the lead in our championship final of the Miller Lite San Diego Open. I'm Chris Marlowe with Paul Sunderland. 6 minutes to go. Points being scored fairly quickly, and you might imagine because it's still a little overcast and there's some wind. Kent Steffes having a marvelous career. It's hard to keep in mind that he's still just 24 years old. 8th all-time, 18 wins last year, and 6th all-time in prize money. He's moving up very, very quickly. So Lewis and Stoklos have to stem the tide. Nice bump by Stoklos, and putting it away is Lewis.
Well, given time, Kent Steffes will be #1 in terms of overall prize money. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Brian Lewis, if he gets on a real hot streak with Randy Stoklos, could do that. And what do you think, like a kid like Canyon Seaman out of Stanford, what do you think he'll make during his career, or Brian Ivey for that matter, when they come out full time?
Off the top and out of the reach of Lewis. So give Kent Steffes the kill. We should tell you that today's match is being played under the auspices of the Killer Luke Kill Award. The player with the most kills in the final game, or 2 games, or whatever it tends to be, the final, wins $500, courtesy of Bausch & Lomb. Killer Luke Kill Award last week went to Mr. Loyola, did it not? Good cut shot inside. Brian Lewis getting the kill. So Brian Lewis will serve. Been on a number of surfing trips along with his pal Randy Stoklos. His favorite place is a place called Tavarua in Fiji. It's a small island, 30 square acres. You can walk around the island in 15 minutes. Great reef breaks. Waves break about 2 miles off the island. You have to take a boat to get out. It is sweet. Lewis is there. Can he surf up point number 5? He does! Cross court heat from Louis.
No sympathy points for his lifestyle, and no sympathy from Brian Lewis ripping the ball across court. You're patient, you read, you get in the right spot, and then Stoklos set in the ball perfectly again in transition.
Lewis set to take off. Oh, tough serve. Pretty good set. Let's see what Karch does with it. Right.
He's usually very conservative with that shot.
Stokey gonna bomb. Come on. Oh, he goes right to Steffes, who's standing there.
Over him.
Rejected. Chicken wing Karch. That's legal.
No.
Dig into the net. We are tied up at 6.
Karch very rarely goes after a shot aggressively on the bad set. Touches before, Karch will get a set way back and just lobs the ball into the court. Now here, Karch was expecting a much better set. The chicken wing, he was expecting a lot better from his partner, and then decided to take a chance and missed it.
Most of the time, the setting between Karch and Kent, it's Kent passing the ball and Karch setting him the ball. The ideal set for Steffes, according to Steffes, is to set me exactly where I expect. So that has been one of the problems for Karch and Kent. Stoklos, 114 all-time wins. First in prize money. 3-time most valuable player. He's had a fabulous career. Started at Pacific Palisades High School in Southern California, on to Santa Monica College and UCLA, and then on to the professional circuit in his first tournament with Jim Menges. And now playing with that man, Brian Lewis. He has to be stoked, as a surfer would say, stoked to get to play with Stoklos.
It's about 10 to 12 feet. The wind's blowing offshore, and they're big tubes.
That's right. Lewis, oof, ram-a-wham-a-win. If anybody can get it, it's Karch, but even he can't go. And the side out. So Randy Stoklos will have the ball. Recently voted one of the 10 sexiest athletes in America, according to Playgirl magazine, in case you missed it. Kent inside. Somehow Stoklos has to block some balls off of Steffes and get some points.
Well, that's the key. I mean, you try to get inside Steffes' head and really put pressure on him. He's had the problems, the spells, as we have dubbed them throughout the course of the season.
Karch with the serve. And another good pass by Stoklos. Quick set. And Karch is there. He dug him off the Russians, he dug him off the Cubans, and now he's digging him off Stokey. The quick set. And Karai and Steffes score a point. They take the lead 7-6.
Karch is right there and then rolls line, and Louis nowhere to be seen.
Karai, we talked about how Kent wouldn't let him practice against the top players. How did he practice this week? His wife Jana set in 56 balls on the Friday before the tournament. All good sets, she said. All perfect. Nectar. Lewis. Stuff. No, it's off the net. And did it hit Steffes? No. Karch. See ya. Real funky play there. Steffes was up high. Give him a lot of credit. He blocked the initial spike.
When they're playing at their best, Karai and Steffes, tough to beat. Nice reach there. Look at out of the net. And as you said, it started getting pretty funky after that.
I'll tell you something. Karch and Kent had a little chance to watch Lewis and Stoklos play today. And I think they've scouted them a little because they were quite ready for that quick play. The Stoklos quick pass and Lewis giving him the shoot set. Karch was right there to dig it.
Yeah, not surprised by it at all. And you have to look at new things that a new partnership will bring to the game. And Lewis and Stoklos have excellent ball control and will bring those sorts of innovations.
Timeout is called. Lewis and Stoklos. Stoklos has only won one other tournament in his career other than with St. Jude Smith. That was with Jim Menges. And there's a lot of speculation about how great a volleyball player is Randy Stoklos. He played all those years with Smith, won all those tournaments, but who was the dominant player? Did Smith carry Stoklos? Did Stoklos carry Smith? Was it a combination? And can Randy Stoklos bring out the best in another player and win with him?
Well, personally, I think it was a combination. I think it was the passing and siding out and defensive ability of St. Jude Smith. It was the jump serving and blocking and setting ability of Randy Stoklos. I think they complemented each other beautifully. But again, that will be the question. Randy Stoklos, 32 years old now. Can he, find his own personality as Randy Stoklos with somebody new and not only raise the level of his game, but raise the level of someone else's, in this case, Brian Lewis.
You saw the one there. They're blocking line on Karch. Not very effectively that time. That thing went down in a hurry. So Karch Karai gets the kill.
As it always does, it'll come down to the number of unforced mistakes and the ability of one team or another to side out. You make a mistake here, don't execute offensively, it's going to cost you.
Lewis backing up. Great set. And Karch blocked it. Louis came up with it. And Lewis puts it away. Big play to save point for Lewis and Stoklos.
It only happens if you work at the little things. Set the ball, look at the opposition, give input to your hitter, and then get down and cover. Watch where this ball goes. Brian Lewis is there. Sure, he's lucky he's in the right spot, but he's down and ready. Otherwise, he doesn't make the play, and then just bombs it cross court.
And you heard Steffes say cut. Karch said, I'm going downtown.
This is a game not for the bashful. This is just for the big boys. Jump serving, hitting the ball very hard.
Talk about winning with other partners. Karch's first win back in 1979. That was Santa Cruz with St. Jude Smith. Karch has also won tournaments with Mike Dodd, Brent Frohoff, amongst others. A little trouble. They let that go. And Lewis can't get there. That was a weird play. Lewis shanked it into the net. Stokey set it into the net. They dug it out, but it's a point for Karch and Kent. And they roar out by 3, 9-6. Back at the Miller Lite San Diego Open, the tour continues here on Prime Network. If you would like to see an AVP tournament, the schedule is definitely out, and you can call and get priority seating, upfront seating or grandstand seating at some of the tournaments that do have priority or pay-per-view seating. 1-800-793-TOUR for ticket and tour information. That's for any spot on the tour. 1-800-793-TOUR. 9-6 is our score. Lewis and Stoklos are behind. Kent and Karch revving it up just a bit. They have risen to the challenge, at least so far. Lewis cut into the net.
That is a dicey chance. Every time Kirai and Steffes have fallen behind, they've been able to make it up quickly. They were down 4-2, then came back to the 6-4 side change. Stoklos and Lewis tied it up at 6, and then Kirai and Steffes went right out to the 9-6 lead, now make it 10-6.
And they're working on Brian Lewis. One thing Karch also said that I found interesting, he said he didn't think Stoklos would yell at Brian Lewis as much as he did at St. John Smith because they're very close friends. Give him a couple tournaments.
Yeah, well, that remains to be seen. I think that one of the biggest mistakes you can make in a new partnership or when you join a new team is to not have the confidence to be yourself. I think you have to be yourself, and if you're not, you will not play as well as you should.
Nice set by Steffes off the spinning pass. Steffes' touch looks very good today.
He's setting the ball better. I think he is. I think that's a good observation. Steffes is setting the ball better. Look at the move by Karch Kirai, not giving Brian Lewis nearly as much room down the sideline, and then Steffes with a nice hand.
If you're blocking Lewis, what is the key to blocking him?
Take his line.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his best shot. He tries to establish everything with a hard shot down the line, and he's very, very good at hitting the ball inside out. I would try to take that away from him and force him to hit the ball back into the meat of the court.
Trying to pound jump serves at Karch, and he's getting great sets from Steffes today.
Karch is getting too many serves.
How many?
Well, Steffes has got to get more serves. Right now, Kirai has received 10 and Steffes 12.
You said more of a 3-to-1 ratio, didn't you?
Yeah, I would like Steffes. If I'm playing against Kirai Steffes, I want Steffes to get 6 to 8 serves out of every 10.
Lewis bombs it cross court. Good shot.
You know, you're talking about personalities, Chris. Okay. And I think one of the things that can come out of this partnership is that, you know, Brian Lewis is not exactly a nerd. Stoklos yells at him. He's going to yell right back, and I think that'll be good for both of them.
6 serving 10. Louis needs to jump it up here. That was a good serve right down the pipe. And Stoklos with the dig, looking for a point. Big play here. Stoklos, the best back set hitter in beach volleyball, thunders one through. Randy Stoklos.
Can you hit the ball hard from 8 or 9 feet off the net? Ooh. Randy Stoklos can. And I think Brian Lewis just tries to give Stoklos something that he can swing at here. He knows that the big man can bomb the ball from well off the net.
Great serve. And out of the net comes Karch. Louis on the left, looking for point number 8. Good.
It's happening with the jump serving, and they're hitting the ball harder and harder and harder, and a couple at Karch, and he shanked the pass. But Lewis and Stoklos have really stepped it up with the serving intensity.
And timeout taken by Kent Steffes and Karch Kirai. So Karch and Kent going to think about it just a bit. Brian Lewis revving up the jumper. Let's take a look at that last play, Paul.
Well, Brian Lewis has variety of jump serves. And here, just the good communication. You see the very end of the play. It was the good jump serve that made all of that possible. Stoklos set the ball, look at the defense, and then call the open area. Killer
Wars. Kirai and Lewis battling it out today. Steffes and Stoklos not far behind. One thing about serving your designated target, with the jump serve, you don't have that control to just lob it to him.
Well, you do give up some accuracy, and that's one of the prices you're certainly going to pay. And you better make sure if you lose that much accuracy in getting the ball to Karch Kirai, you better be serving the ball very, very hard. Remember at the Cuervo tournament when Brian Lewis was playing with Mike Whitmarsh, and those two teams, I'm speaking of Kirai and Steffes, met in the finals. We were saying, Lewis, you're serving Karch too much, but he just kept hitting harder and harder and harder, and Karch was able to withstand the pressure. They eventually went on and won in overtime, sudden death.
Brian Lewis clearing the runway, set for takeoff. His team trailing by 2, 10-8. Steffes got it. And Steffes hitting down the line, and Lewis glaring at Jim Leonard, hoping for a throw.
Well, just sending a message. You know, Lewis had that throw called on him early in this match, and I thought it was a questionable call. Just reminding the referee that maybe he owes us one.
Stoklos. Oh, Stoklos over the top of Karch. Randy looks very fresh.
Nobody tired out here. 1 game to 15, 9-minute clock, cool temperatures. Nobody's going to be tired in this final.
Stoklos. And he has a good jump serve also. Steffes, another nice set, and chopping inside. So Karch and Kent side now.
I tell you, it's like a boxing match. You know, the jump serve is the left hook, and then the pass, set, and hitter, the jab, 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 and hopefully you can come back and put the ball away and get possession.
5 wins for Karch with Kent this year. There's that little quick set, and Stokey bombs it. Oh, I'd love to watch that. Lewis, perfect set.
Well, and a good pass, and Stoklos is moving forward. Why set the ball way up into the wind when you can keep it nice and low?
So overhead look at Brian Lewis and the attack zone, trailing 10-8. Steffes not going to set that one with his hands, but Karch is hitting it straight down. You have to wonder about Lewis and Stoklos' strategy.
Well, I'll tell you, but these 4 players are really performing at a high level.
I agree.
I mean, these are some bombing jump serves, and the passing is on the dime. The setting is very, very good, and we have not had a stuff block in a long time, so the hitters are doing their job.
Right here. And
Set is back. And Lewis hits it out. That's a pass was high. The set was back. The hit out. 11-8.
Big, big mistake. Stoklos and Lewis had steadied out. Unforced error. I said that was going to make the difference. That's a pretty good timeout. Pretty good call by Brian Lewis and Randy Stoklos.
Total prize money won so far this year. Karch and Kent way ahead with $94,000 apiece. Smith in third with $33,000. Stoklos, Hovland, and Dye. But 2 names that we expect to be moving up on that list very quickly. Anginho and Loyola, who are scoring top 4 finishes very regularly. Second last week, 4th this week.
Into the semifinals, undefeated, of course, 2 weeks in a row.
Stoklos. And Stoklos beans it into the corner. Lewis and Stoklos need a 9-11 change to have a chance. We're under 3 minutes to go in our final. Lewis and Stoklos need to win this final to send it to a double final. Stoklos, 3 blocks so far. Steffes and Karai have a block. Good serve. And a great set. And a nice dig.
And here's a chance for the side change. That is a tight set.
Maybe too tight. Yeah, Steffes jams it back down.
This ball, an important chance for the 11-9 side switch. Lewis just cannot get up high enough to knuckle the ball into the block and give his partner a chance to cover.
11 serving, 8. Karch to Stoklos.
Come on.
And he digs it. Looking for a point.
And Steffes on 2.
On 2. Steffes and Karai looking very, very good right now. It was 10-8, a couple of quick points. Karai and Steffes in command with 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the game. They lead by 4. All-time greats on the right, Jim Menges in white, and the legendary Ron Von Hagen, the Babe Ruth of volleyball. 5 Manhattan Open wins, 63 on the all-time list, still 4th, and he is still considered, well, in my opinion, the greatest volleyball player ever. He did more than just about anybody in his time.
Interesting, this morning I was standing talking to Ron Von Hagen and Ernie Suara, 2 of the greats of all time players, obviously, we both respect. And a young girl and a couple of her friends came up and asked me for my autograph, and I gave it to them, and I handed my hat, started to hand my hat over to Ron, and, and they said, "Who's that?" And just shows you how much the dawning of television has done for the sport. But
of course, Von Hagen playing his entire career in the 60s and early 70s before television came to pro beach volleyball, or vice versa. Randy Stoklos starting his career in the late 70s. 12-8 is our score. Karai and Steffes by 4. Lewis and Stoklos need a miracle here. The way Karch and Kent are playing, they have shown no weakness so far. Pretty good dig. Stokey can't get there.
Lost his legs. He was on the ball, and there are just those few times, as well as these players can move, in the sand, you just lose your legs for a second. Stoklos was on it. He just caught himself, caught his foot right there, and look at him try to stay with it and just cannot make a play. But that's another big opportunity by the board. Lewis has dug a couple of balls. Randy made the setting mistake and trapped his smaller partner. They were unable to get the 11-9 side switch. I think that's the key to the match so far.
12-8.
Easy, easy, easy.
Karch swung and missed. Stokey, bingo!
I think Karch touched the ball first. I think he fanned it a little. Otherwise, he would have hit it again.
A very little.
A very little. But, you know, if Karch doesn't touch this first swing, then he can go ahead and poke you the second one. There's the overpass right there. I think Karch touches that one just a little bit.
See if Stoklos and Lewis can make hay. Tight set. Stoklos. Lewis can't get there. A lot of scrambling through the sand. Karch and Kent leading by 4 with 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go in this one. In case you missed it, Randy Stoklos breaking up with St. John Smith, a partnership that lasted almost 12 years. St. John Smith this week playing with Tim Hovland. They did not fare very well. They finished 9th, which is horrible for them.
They'll do better. I think they will have good results together.
Off Steffes. If they don't, and they don't prove to be a good team, who do you see those guys going with?
Got to think about that one for a second. Okay. Steffes getting down and dirty. And he loves it. He doesn't clean up for a long time. He's going to roll around in the sand and kick some in his face. He likes getting dirty. I'm going to think about who other options might be. You know, Mike Dodd also the odd man out. Tim Hovland and Mike Dodd were playing very well together. One in Phoenix until Dodd had the injury to his shoulder. No doubt about it. What a fabulous comeback. Down 6-1 in overtime. And where would St. John Smith go? I have to think about that one.
Well, Eric Boyles had his chance the one weekend that Randy Stoklos did not show up in Fort Worth, Texas. Didn't do very well. I think Boyles, as good a player as he is, might have blown his chance. Karch hit it off Stoklos.
Yeah, I don't think Eric played as well as he can. I think he felt the pressure of playing with a legend and thinking that, geez, if I do well with St. John Smith, I might keep him for a couple of weeks if Randy's hurt or if he dumps him. And I think Eric did not play nearly as well as he has under different circumstances.
4-point lead for Brian Steffes. Both teams siding up very well right now.
I got one for you.
Okay.
St. John Smith and Loyola.
I don't think the Brazilians.
No, I don't think so either, but that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it?
I would say I see no inflation in South America before I see Gino and Loyola breaking. It's going to be a long time.
Do you remember when we went to Argentina for the World Championships in '82? I remember a Coke was 10,000 pesetas, and when we left 3 weeks later, it was 17,000 pesetas.
12-8 is our score. And a pound down the right side, Brian Lewis. The only thing I remember about that is the 100 peseta coins they threw at us because they didn't like us.
Because the coins weren't worth anything.
Stoklos with the serve. It's a 4-point lead. Hey, here could be a big play. Point coming. Oh, Karch stuffs it. Oh, it's out. It's out, so Lewis and Stoklos get a break.
And Louis looks up to the sky and says, thank you, God, for a little divine intervention. These jump serves are starting to pay dividends. Karch was right there, but stuffed the ball out of bounds.
The hope for Lewis and Stoklos, they have to switch sides at 13-12. They have to get over there, either 13-12 their favor or trailing 13-12, or this one's over. Karch. Right to KK, and the put away. So there might have been miscommunication on that play, Paul.
Or Brian Lewis just did not heed Randy Stoklos's usually very, very good call.
Well, that's miscommunication, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
13-9. Stokey and Louis trying to hang on here. They call timeout. San Diego, 1:35 to go, and Karch and Kent are closing in. With just about 1.5 minutes to play in this one, Karch grind. Kent Steffes just 2 points away from victory. Trying to work on Brian Lewis. Crowd hoping for a miracle comeback. Could happen. Oh, look at that. I don't know what happened. Stoklos And apparently Stoklos thought it was going to be a quick set.
But from much farther inside.
Yeah.
And Brian Lewis set this ball all the way out to the antenna.
Maybe a little too cute that time, or the play that didn't work. So now it is 14-9.
But, you know, Stoklos, with a smile on his face and laughing about it just a little bit, I think he knows that this partnership may not win this week, but has good legs on it.
Championship point for Karch and Kent. Oh, and Karch missed an easy one right to him. You know what Karch needs to do next week is have his wife Jana hit some balls at him so he can play better defense instead of just setting it. Jana's got to get out the rubber arm, just pound it at him. Lewis, his team trailing by 5. And the only hope for Lewis and Stoklos is if Karch and Kent go into the tank. They have done a couple times this year, but it doesn't appear they're going to today.
No.
They played very well.
Yeah, played steady, made few, if any, mistakes. And every time Stoklos and Lewis have gotten close, Kirai and Steffes have made a play.
Second championship point for Karch and Kent. And the zinger. Karch and Kent, of course, winning that thrilling double final from Smith and Stoklos last year on this beach, 7-6. Now Stoklos to serve. 1 minute, 11 seconds to go. Steffes. And Steffes has been brilliant. Maybe the best performance of the summer for Steffes. Passing well, setting perfectly. Well, very consistent.
If they go on and win, I'm going to ask Kent Steffes exactly that. Okay. Because I don't think there's any doubt that this is the best he has played. The best single match I've seen him play this season.
Lewis, Steffes with the block out of bounds. You know what else I want you to ask Steffes? He said Stoklos and Lewis would stink.
Yeah, exactly.
Ask him if they played better than he thought they would.
I was going to ask you during our next commercial break, I was going to get your notes about that quote and talk to him about it.
All right. Louis, a minute and a second to play. Another good set by Steffes. Whoa, has he been setting them up and bumping them up? Most of the times after tournaments that Kent Steffes will play, his father Jackson will give him some notes. Hey, you did this kind of poorly, or you got to call some timeouts. You got to do this. Another championship point right here. That's going to do it, isn't it? Yeah, it should. Kent should bomb this ball. He gets the nectar set and the put away. So Karch Kirai and Kent Steffes, who have now won 31 tournaments together. Just too tough for the brand new team of Brian Lewis and Randy Stoklos. Lewis and Stoklos played well, but they could not keep up with the champs in here in San Diego, Karch and Kent.